Right now, your mouth is physically shrinking. You might think your crooked teeth or narrow jaw are just bad genetic luck. But for 99.9% of human history, wisdom teeth didn't need to be pulled. They fit perfectly. Our ancestors didn't have braces, yet their jawlines were structurally flawless. So what changed? The answer isn't in your DNA. It's on your dinner plate. If you walk into an anthropological museum and look at a human skull from 10,000 years ago, you will notice something striking. The teeth are perfectly straight. The palate, the roof of the mouth, is wide and spacious. The lower jaw is forward, prominent, and robust. Orthodontic crowding in the ancient world was virtually 0%. For over 300,000 years, every single one of your ancestors developed a face that worked perfectly. They didn't have dentists. They didn't have nighttime mouth guards. They didn't have surgery to fix their sleep apnea. Their bodies simply executed a biological blueprint that had been refined over millions of years of primate evolution. When their permanent teeth emerged, they found their place instantly, like blocks sliding into a perfect puzzle. There was room for everyone, even the wisdom teeth. But modern humans almost never experience this. Today, over 70% of the global population suffers from some form of malocclusion, a technical term for a misalignment. In the 1930s, a brilliant Canadian dentist named Weston Price noticed this sudden shift. He left his comfortable practice and spent years traveling to the most remote corners of the earth. He sought out communities that were completely isolated from modern civilization. Isolated Swiss villagers, Gaelic communities in the Outer Hebrides, indigenous Alaskan tribes, and traditional African fighters. What he documented in his photographs changed anthropology forever. The elders who lived on traditional ancestral diets had magnificent, broad facial structures. Their smiles were wide, their teeth were straight. But when Price looked at the members of the exact same tribes who had moved closer to trading posts and adopted a modernized diet, the results were horrifying. Within a single generation, the children of these individuals developed narrow faces, sunken cheeks, and severely crowded teeth. Same genetics, totally different faces. It wasn't a slow Darwinian evolutionary shift that, because a bone is not a static piece of concrete. It is a living, dynamic tissue that responds strictly to mechanical stress. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups have documented that primitive human infants and children chewed for hours every day. They chewed tough, fibrous roots. They chewed raw, leathery wild meats. They chewed hard nuts and seeds. This intense physical exertion puts massive mechanical strain on the masseter muscles, the powerful muscles on the side of your jaw. Every time an ancient child bit down on a tough root, those muscles pulled violently on the maxilla and the mandible. That mechanical pulling sends a direct chemical signal to the bone cells. Expand, grow thicker, grow wider. We need more structural support. The human face was designed to be built by friction. It requires pressure to reach its full genetic potential. When a modern child grows up eating soft oatmeal, processed chicken nuggets, and blended fruit purees, that mechanical purr, this is where a cosmetic problem becomes a profound existential crisis. A narrow jaw doesn't just give you crooked teeth. It physically shrinks your airway. It makes your nasal passages smaller. It forces your tongue to slide backward into your throat when you sleep, cutting off your oxygen supply. We didn't just inherit crowded smiles. We inherited a suffocating body. We flooded our world with soft convenience, and we thought it was progress. But our ancestors understood a truth we completely forgot. The word comfort is often a trap. Tonight, when you sit down to eat, notice how effortlessly your food dissolves in your mouth. Notice how little pressure your jaw is actually applying. You are living inside a hyper-processed sanctuary that has quietly domesticated your skeleton. We escaped the brutal labor of the wild, but in doing so, we closed the door on our own biological design. We traded our structural strength for softness, and our faces are still paying the price.